beast right here.
Oh, tight.
A little Honda sitting on some 20s, some Twinkies. But yeah, I tell them at times to their own. Here's the little wall of fame.
It's a nice collage.
Yeah, all back of my fit days, all my fit boys. Carlos, Lorenzo, Gerald, Nate, Mikey, Dirty Bird, Jerome,
Wow.
Marcus, Joko. Yeah, there's a handful of fighters on there. Love the snowboard. Know what I mean? Love the snowboard. And here's some. There's other news clippings I didn't get a chance to put up. But these are like whenever I was in the CNN Chronicle, ALBUQUERQUE Journal, Redosa News, local newspapers and stuff. Max Muscle Rear End, so helping me out, keep me strong, man. One thing I like to do in the mornings, man, is get ready, start off the day right, you know, strawberries, bananas, oatmeal, my protein, my gluten, my greens, everything, man, strong boost.
So this has been your routine every morning for about how many years?
Since I figured out a routine, this has been like a good routine for at least 4 years, you know, and just getting up in the morning and just starting out the day right, you know. I mean, this stuff right here, I mean, I probably have a mixture of this, that's all this is all pre-mixed right here, so whenever I get up in the morning, I have it all ready to go, so I don't have to get up. So you can take a look right there, I have them all like pre-made right here, like all in baby jars.
Oh, wow.
So you know, like it cuts the day, cuts some time in half, and you know, so right when I get up, I just, instead of breaking up all one of these containers each time, I just throw it all in there and just rock and roll, man. Just get in, get out, man. Jimbo slice right there.
Are you a trained for the fight or a trained for the opponent fighter?
Kind of both, you know. It's one of those things like, if I find out about my fighter, you know, ground fighter, up fighter, you know, like for the first 19, 20 fights, I just trained for the fight. I didn't care who it was. But after my loss with Ian McCall, you know, he studied all my footage I had online, YouTube, all the fights that I put online, my highlight, like everything, and that was like a lesson learned right there. After he studied me and beat me, taught me a lesson to study my fighters and be ready for my opponents, you know. And
how much of that, like, did you and Ian talk after the fight and he kind of told you what he had done and that planted the seed in your head?
Yeah, he kind of let me know that he studied me, and I mean, whenever someone, you know, lets me know their little secret, it kind of helps me out. So now, I mean, it used to give me like I used to get nervous before, you know, to see my opponent before battle, you know, and see what they can do, see what they're potentially can do to me, to hurt me or beat me in a fight. But you know, so now I got 26 fights. For my last 7 fights, I've been studying all my fighters, but I'm glad that I learned it, so now I'm able to, you know, take that on to where I'm able to study my future fighters, and I'm able to beat them. It's a game of chess, you know, a game of fighting chess, and, you know, he's training to beat you, and I'm training to beat him, so it's who's the better man that night, so. If there's one thing that I don't like in fight games, is like cocky fighters. You know what I mean? And I learned just kind of just be yourself. You know, be yourself. Don't try to be someone else you're not. You know. I mean, I think whenever you start trying to be someone else, people will recognize that. And I think the best thing you can do as a fighter is just be yourself and stay humble. You know, and appreciate what's given to you, because you know there's a lot of people out there that, you know, that don't have the opportunity you have. You know?
How much would you say that, you know, growing up in small town Mescalero kind of gave that to you? You know, just a small town, humble kind of attitude. You know.
You know, growing up in Mescalero, you know, it's like, you know, it's tough. You know, a lot of alcoholism, a lot of drugs, drinking, violence, domestic violence. You know, right now Mescalero is the worst reservation in the nation with suicides, drugs, alcohol. You know, just growing up in that environment makes me appreciate, you know, I appreciate where I come from, coming from a tough background. You know, I mean, my mom and dad, you know, brought me up great. You know, I'm proud to say I'm from Mescalero. You know, and there's just nothing but great people down there. You know, for me to come out of Mescalero and to be one of the role models is just awesome. But I mean, growing up there helped a lot. I mean, Mescalero breeds heart and breeds toughness.
Training with Ox is very dynamic, he's very explosive, and I always have to stay on my toes. With him, he's always making sure that I'm doing quick movements and trying to do fancy footwork. So it throws everybody off balance, including me, and I'm the fastest man alive.
Right here. This is where I come right here. You know, he's the one that does all my chiropractic work right here. So whenever I'm broken up and hurt and put into pieces, this is the guy that does me right.
Touched on this, and I think that that's awesome that you represent yourself as a role model, you know. And so talk to me about some of the things. I know you were doing some training with some kids down in Mescalero. Talk to me about what you're doing to actively, you know, cultivate that role model. I don't want to say image because it's not an image, but that role model part of your life. Do you know what I'm saying?
You know, I kind of, you know, I've been through the gutter. You know, I went through some muddy waters. I had some bad choices in my life back then, you know. And one of the things that I want to do is to be that role model for the kids. You know, me coming from Mescalero, I had a bad past down there, drinking, drugging, fighting. I mean, you name it. I mean, shoot, man, there's the West company down here. Hey, it's Dr. Schnapps right here. He's the man right here. Schnapps Crackle Pop.
Nice to see you.
Yeah, but this is the guy that puts me together whenever I'm hurt, broke. This is the guy that puts Humpty Dumpty back together right here.
Uh-oh.
Yeah.
We're gonna film some Snap Crackle Pop for the folks at home.
Yeah. So anytime that I'm getting ready for fights and stuff, like before, you know, I'll come see Schnapps like, you know, 2-3 days. If I fly out to Vegas or I'm gonna fly out to another state, I'll come see him 2-3 days before I'm flying out. And then, you know, and then anytime that I'm fighting local, I'll come see him pretty much 2-3 days before the fight. Because sometimes whenever I do get popped up, I do get sore like the next day. Other than that, you know, this is my very first chiropractor, and this guy's been doing magic on me ever since. I believe it's very valuable. I mean, you get put out of whack, you get thrown around, you get picked up, slammed on your head, your back's twisted. I had my shoulder popped out of place. This guy's put my shoulder back into place. He's popped my ribs back into place. I had my knees and my ankles out of whack. And, you know, this guy's, you know, like I said, you know, I feel like Humpty Dumpty. Every time I got broken, this guy put me back together. You know, I really, really believe that it's a big part. If you're in the fight game, you really, really do need a chiropractor. It's one of those things that's a has-to, you know. It's like water to a fish, you know, chiropractor to a fighter.
Right on. Hey, Dr. Schnapp, you know, how often, or what am I trying to say? How many, is any chiropractor going to be able to take care of a fighter and their general day-to-day injuries?
You know, mostly yes. We're all trained in school initially with some sports injuries, sports injury awareness and diagnosis and treatment. However, there are designations for specialized chiropractic sports physician that is very helpful. But usually most doctors who are at least 1 to 2 years into practice usually see these type of injuries rather on a weekly basis.
Okay.
I mean, I'm not the only fighter he sees at least a dozen fighters, you know, a dozen local fighters, big name fighters too, so.
Yeah. Now go like face up for me.
Yes. Anytime you guys need to come, schnapps, crackle pop. You know, you tell him Ox sent you and he'll take care of you. Right there. And we're just leaving my my chiropractor, Dr. Jeffrey Schnapps, you know, great man, like one of my good friends. Consider him a good friend of mine. And we're on our way to go get a haircut now before I go train. So, you know, this is gonna go in you know, doing the true Hollywood story on Ox Wheeler.
Oh man, Ox is a workhorse. He won't let you stop until he gets you. His leg locks are off the charts. The fun thing about Ox is that if he catches you, which he will, he'll show you how he did it. That's what I like about Ox.
Over here at the barber shop. This is where I get my chops and my cuts over here. Anytime I get fluffy and roughy, this is my man that does it. Donut! That's my man's shop right here. His name's Donut. Jay Gardino. So he's been cutting up my mug for a minute now. Nice to meet you, bro. Doing bike footage, doing the Ian Troy true Albuquerque story and Ox Wheeler. But this is the barbershop right here. This guy's been chopping up my hair. I knew this guy since before he became a barber. He knew me before I became a fighter.
So, you knew Ox before he became a fighter. What's changed the most about Ox?
Nothing really, just, I mean, he's still the same guy since I've known. He's been the same guy since the day I met him. I mean, just now he's a fighter, that's about it.
What about the haircut? Is the haircut the same?
He changes his hair about every couple of months. I mean, I've done many different haircuts on this guy, so. His like, a handful of this guy's haircuts been on the WC whenever I fought him versus. Every time I was on TV, like, I came and got a haircut from him, so anytime you see me on TV, like, even whenever I fought against Dale Hopkins up there, whenever I got that flying armbar, I had my old gym cutting my hair. This guy's the one that worked the magic, you know? Yeah, you know, and I know Donut for a minute now, you know? But it's a good thing, man. Like, what's one of my rituals that I was doing before a fight, before I'm getting ready to go travel. Like, if I'm gonna leave to head out to a WC fight in Sacramento, Las Vegas, you know, I come see this guy 2-3 days or a day before I'm leaving. So if I had to fly out tomorrow, I would come see him the day before I fly out, because then I'll be out there 5 days before I fight, and then by then your hair's already kind of grown back. But you know, this guy's been chopping me up for
Sensation.
Yeah, you guys gotta come over to Donut's Barbershop. The barbershop right here on Carlon Central Way. What's your address up here, brother? 3712 Central Avenue Southeast. 3712, man. You gotta come see my boy, man. John Mox sent you. Take care of you. So fresh, so clean, getting chopped up. I gotta get a haircut at least once a week. When it comes close to a fight, sometimes twice a week, but other than that, gotta keep my lady happy. Well, she doesn't like it when I go bald, but gotta keep the lady happy.
How many days a week do you train usually?
Five. Treat it like a job. Monday through Friday, you know, train, you know, 6 to 8 hours, you know. Right now, you know, you come in, hit the morning practice, pro practice, 10:30 to noon. Sometimes in the morning, get up and run, but other than that, I save like strength conditioning cardio for pre-easy. We'll be getting pre-easy later on this afternoon, but you know, stay busy. But this is, you know, this is a has-to part of my training regimen right here.
Ox is he's one of those guys that doesn't stop. He's gonna keep going. Whether he's punching you or getting punched, he's going to keep moving, waiting for you to make that one mistake. You know, a little split second of a mistake, and he'll take advantage of it, and you're on your back and you're kicked.